Well, good day, traders. Live with Oscar. Figured I would do some live streaming today because my site is down while it's being worked on, and that might actually take 2 more days. So I thought might as well pop on YouTube, open up a chat room there, and we'll see what happens. So let me pop out this chat room. At least I know we can speak to each other. Chat is open. So far, so good, AJ. Although we got stopped out today, volatility was just too much for us. Went down, hit our stops, and then went back up. These things going to happen. Actually, I've had a terrible April. A lot of our trades have been stopped. We haven't had that many trades, but the ones we've had, a lot of them have been stopped out. These things will happen. Omni has a losing month every now and then. There's no sound? Oh, there should be. There's no sound, huh? I see the microphone working. Okay, sound is on it. I thought so. Ah, very cool. So, we're still in the same place we were in the analysis last night. Markets are still pretty solid. I mean, you're going to have volatility in a market like this, right? Especially with all the crazy news. The only thing that the numbers that we seen this morning do not reflect what's happened since tariffs. The next set of numbers are going to start to show what happened with tariffs. I'm assuming they're not going to be good ones. So hopefully we get a nice rally before the next set of numbers come out and give us some breathing room, Because you'd have to think if the numbers today were scary and they didn't include what's going on with tariffs, that's an interesting thing. Now, can I turn up the volume for you guys? That I might be able to do. Let me see. Volume mixer. No, I'm on full. I don't think I could turn that any higher. I think the volume's on full right now. All right, so until I get my chat room back, this is us. I have to be here. So I'll just hang with you cats. Well, I'm assuming we will have a chance to rally up out of here before the next set of numbers. I mean, Wall Street's not stupid. Uh, I can't be the smartest guy in town to know that if the numbers today didn't look so good and they don't include tariffs, the next set's not going to be so good. Right? Don't take genius to figure that one out. So we'll see. Of course, I follow copper. I used to trade in the copper pit. Not going to say copper is nice to people because copper is one of those markets that is end users and producers more so than anything else in the middle, but it's tradable. Do I think we're going to go back and hit the lows? Giga, I think that if we go back and hit those lows, it's going to get a lot worse than just hitting the lows. We don't want to see that again, in other words. Technically, you don't want to see another test. Yeah, copper is $4.55 a pound, just about $4.56. Now, here's an interesting thing. When I started on the exchange as an 18-year-old kid in 1982, copper was 65 cents. Gold was $230, and silver was around 31. Copper in my entire career has gone from 65 cents to $4.55. Gold's gone from $230 to $3,300, and silver is in the same place. It always has been. I don't know if that's me. I can't really tell. It seems like I have strong connection here. So if we're having audio issues, let me know. I'll see if maybe restarting the stream can help or something. I don't know. Let me see if there's any settings at all in the microphone. Not really. Just turn it up or turn it down, which I've done. Ah, Charlie Brown, that's interesting. As you can see, doesn't matter how good the information in my videos are, it doesn't seem to get a lot of action on YouTube. I could advertise everywhere in the world. It does not get a lot of action. I've also been yanked off TV for telling the truth, so the truth is not always warranted. Well, there's a good chance, AJ, that if we go down and test those lows again, that yes, something else is going on here, bigger, right, than the first dip. Grilled chicken sandwich, huh, Giga? You know, Charlie, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I'm really good at analysis. I'm obviously not good at advertising. Although, I will admit, I am literally 24 hours a day. I keep my head down, nose to the grindstone. I don't try to advertise. I don't try to do anything except for my analysis and try to help people around the world with it, you know? So I'm not, I don't know. I guess people spend a lot more time advertising their channels, but I want to be good at analysis, not good at building channels. Well, unless the channel's in the analysis. I don't know, Giga, but no one else is saying that. So maybe you want to leave the stream and come back? Everyone else is saying that they're having okay audio. So, are you guys able to see my screen? Because maybe we can go take a look at some charts. Yeah, so it could be you. Maybe you want to leave the stream and come back. Huh. So you can see the screen. Let's see if there's anything to look at. I haven't looked at a thing today yet. I did my charting last night and haven't done anything since. Well, let's go to Bitcoin first. Bitcoin, you know, I don't love the fact that it came back down here a little bit, but I don't hate it either, because if you look at Bitcoin, you don't get this many green days in a row. Like, look at all these green days right here. Let me make that a little thicker. You see all those green days in a row? Well, if you go around to this chart, you don't get nearly that many green days in a row, no matter what it's doing. So that was a lot of days. Maybe it just needed a pullback day. But Bitcoin looks great compared to what it looked like when it was here, right? It looks much better now than when it was there. That is Bitcoin, by the way. And I think on chart 5, let's go look there, because these are nice, clean, nothing on them charts. So we could just we could chop them up a little bit, see what they look like. All right, so that's close enough to call filled, right? You got to call that gap filled. There's no need to want to go back down there and fill it. So if we went back down, I don't think it would be to fill a gap. You know what I mean? I don't think that's what it would be for. Volume is low. I have no way of turning this up any further than it is now. Wonder why. Boy, that was almost a knocked over glass of juice. Good thing it had a cover on it. All right, so the other one that's really filled is this guy. That gap's completely filled. 100% filled, and this is today Wednesday? Yeah, this is good. 100% filled gap, right? So you don't need to go down and fill that gap. So, you know, we don't want to come down and test the lows again. I don't think that would be good for us at all. So oil, no, oil is just steady. Look at this thing. That is just steady and dropping and ugly looking. This is a weekly chart. That is ugly. So 55 has already been hit. 47.5 comes up next. Today, we were buyers of dips. Green Omni, buy the dips is what we had for today. The problem is with the action that we're seeing lately with this insane volatility is where do you put the stop? You know what I mean? All right, to buy the dip, but where the hell's the stop going to go? It's the bars are like this big lately. So for day trading, all right, maybe people don't recognize this, but when you're a day trader, you can't allow a stop this big to get hit because day traders don't take stops that big. That's what fund managers take. So a day trader has to figure out somewhere in today how to get in, get out, and not let his stop get hit. Because if you let a stop this big get hit, that's not the type of trading day traders do. We don't take major hits like that because we don't take the major profits like that. We take a day trader's win, a day trader's loss. So you can't sit here if you're a day trader and allow a 500-point stop to get hit. You know what I mean? That's not what you make in day trading. So that's what makes this extreme volatility slightly difficult. You still got to keep your risk muted and deal with the volatility. So because I've had to keep my risk muted, that has cost me a losing month of April, but it's the first losing month of the year. And every year there's one losing month that comes in somewhere, right? So let's get rid of that one in April. Thank you. Get away from me. Shake it out. Hope to never see another one. So, anything else? Let's see. You know, the bonds look pretty decent too. Let's see if we have a bond chart somewhere. Yes. We have a nice bond chart sitting here. It's hovering around this silly little average for whatever reason. I don't know why Wall Street's liking it, but they're liking this on the bonds. For this month, right? Who knows what they'll like next month. But for some reason, they seem to like this average on the bonds, as you can see. If you get near that average, something happens. So we're above it smartly. It's had a lot of up days, just like Bitcoin, so a cool down day is probably not the worst thing that we can see. Giga Chad is Robert Finizzi. Oh, okay. I read that as I just got a dog. Sorry, Rob. I was reading that the wrong way. I was going, okay, who would know I just got a dog? I didn't get one. Rob's dog is cute. He got himself a nice, cute little dog. Any hope for your Ethereum? You know, here's the thing with Ethereum. If Bitcoin doesn't go up, Ethereum's got nowhere to go. And we're in May now, right? Let's do April. It'll give us a bit of chart. There's nothing to say. It's just horrible. Ain't much to say about it. I don't like it at all. I don't own any of it. I don't hate Ethereum, but I don't like that chart. I mean, who would like that? And then there's this crazy ES market. Once again, it's also had a lot of green days in a row. All right, so maybe we just need a pullback day. But if you notice, it pulled back, turned around, and we've rallied all the way back from the low, hit our stop, of course, went up, and we're here now. We're in the 5540s. There's an easy chance you can make a new high today in the S&P. So this chart is much nicer than the other chart, than that Ethereum chart we were just looking at. And is this the chart I want to take you to? 17. Is it on 21? There may be a 21 chart. No, it's not 21. Is it 20? It's not 20. There's a chart somewhere. There you go. And then the weekly of the S&P, as I've been showing you in video after video, has done nothing but what we expected. When you look at this weekly, if you remember that the market was all the way up here, when we came up with targets that there's a possibility, we don't even know if this will happen, but there's a possibility it'll drop all the way down to here. And if it does, Wall Street will come in and buy it. And here was our targeted area. Well, it dropped all the way down between 49.75 and 47.75. It actually did that. It went to 48.32. That's right there in the middle. And since then, it's done nothing really but go up. We had a holiday week where for 3 days it went down, but these are strong up bars since we had come all the way down to this level. There's a strong up bars. So unless that changes complexion, I have no reason to change my chart analysis, which is at this moment, looks like we probably have put our bottom in. Now, of course, anything can happen. We could turn around tomorrow and go, and then we'll talk about different analysis, but that's not what's happening. Not at the moment, anyway. We'll take it one day at a time, as we always do. You think altcoin season is coming? Well, if Bitcoin goes, altcoins can go. There is this, though. The regulations have been taken away. The restrictions, I should say, have been removed. The invite to now start building businesses around crypto and Bitcoin has been sent out by the Trump administration, so it seems from watching from the outside looking in. I think if you watch over the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of systems that are going to be built out specifically to bring crypto into mainstream Wall Street. Now that there is a green light in an administration that won't put you in jail for spending $500 million to figure out if you like something, right? Now that there's no restrictions against doing that, it might turn out to be something really smart. Live with Oscar. Good thing when the cold call is cold these days, you get that boop, right? Boop. You know you can hang up on them. So, let me see if I can show you a picture. Let's see what we got here. Who went to the Knights game last night? I did. They won in overtime. Woohoo! Let's see if I got any pictures. It was fun, man. It was a great game. What a great arena to go see a game at. I figured, you can't hear me? Testing, 1, 2. Can you not hear me? Unmute. Someone's paying attention. I don't have any music playing in the background. Yes, they're up 3-2. YouTube will only quiet me down if I play music in the background, so I've learned not to do that. So we do hear you. Most of you hear me, correct? The fact that we didn't write back when I said it verbally is scaring me. I'm not sure what's happening with the audio being so low. Again, there's nothing I can do on my end. I've tried. There's nowhere to go. Audio, go louder. You know what? Let me just try one button down here. There is a possibility I could turn it up down here on my mixing board. Tell me if this helps us. Just give me a second. Put on a light. Well, now I need a pair of binoculars because I can't see under there without binoculars on. All right. I think there's a switch on my board that might help us out. Main mix. This has to go up a little. That's got to go up a little. This has to go up a little. Maybe some of this will help. All right. Is that any better, audio-wise? I turned up a few knobs, but I'm not the audio expert here. I don't want to start flipping switches. Any better on the microphone? Let me get rid of this flashlight. I'm not understanding why they would do that. Maybe there's another place. Let me check on YouTube itself. No, there's no way to turn up anything here. And looking at my OBS, I am absolutely at full volume here. Filters, advanced audio properties. Let's see, maybe there is something we can do. Advanced audio properties. Monitoring is off. There's no way to turn it up here either, kids. No, nothing here shows any higher volume levels than the ones we have now. I will figure it out. You held down shift and reloaded, and that problem went away, huh? I don't think I can bring this mic closer. It's kind of rigged up there. Let me see. Maybe there's a way. Let me try. Let's see what we can do here, kids. I got room on the wire. Let's see. There's a possibility I can send this guy out just a little bit closer to me. Let's see if that does anything for us. All right. That is a mic right in front of my face. How about that? Is that any better? And let's see if I can move it up now and get it a little bit away from me. All right, testing now. Audio's still low. Well, this microphone's like right in front of me. A little better. And this is like a $3,000 microphone, you know what I mean? It's certainly not the mic. Yeah, it's just odd. Is this on? Wait, I'll do it for you. Is this on? Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, I kid you not. I'm looking at all the settings that there are in here. Nothing says turn up volume higher than we have it right now. DJT. Oh, where would I find a DJT chart? Let me see if I could do something with that. See if there's a way to kind of just bring this thing over to another screen and see what I could do with this for you guys. Hold on a moment. I can't make it move. It's sort of stuck. It's stuck. Oh, there it is. Now let's see what we could do with this. Maybe there's a possibility I could find a decent chart for us here in Tranny. Oh, this program is so difficult to use. It's killing me. It's in such slow motion. Now I've got to wait. It's sort of in a, when do humans like circles? Come on now, come back to me. I'm just trying to show a chart. Why make life so difficult? It's just a chart. All right. File. Open. Let's see. It should be DJT. this one. Hold on. Let's see what comes up. That could go away. We don't need that sitting there getting in my way. Wow. Sure is giving me trouble, this Metastock program today, isn't it? Look at that. Wait for it to respond. So the answer is no. Oh, here it is. We have a Dow chart. Let's look what elsewhere. I want to see different ones. Transports. So that's not it. Let's try this one. Sorry, I'm literally waiting on this chart to come up. Alright, so if I could bring it over without it crashing, we can take a look at this chart. You need to go away. You need to go full screen. So far no crash. That's good. Alright, so this is literally giving me nothing but trouble. Alright, so it's transport average. And you would think that's a big ugly bear flag, right? I mean, wouldn't you kind of call this thing over here a bear flag? Ugly one. I don't blame you, because so do I. Let's see what it looks like from here. Yeah, it certainly doesn't look pretty. That does not look very pretty. But we shall see. I don't know that the transportation has been leading this move. It didn't lead the up move. It did lead the down move. The original down move was led by transportation average. The up move didn't seem to be. It was actually led by Russell 2000 the way back up. Today, I don't know who's in charge right now. It's hard to tell. We'll figure it out. Until proven otherwise, the market had its dip and it's coming back out. If you think about the dip that we had during COVID, how many weeks after that dip did people scream, oh my God, we're going to the end, it's the end of the world, the world shut down, the market's going to crash forever. And it just slowly kept leaving out of that hole that it created. Trump mentioned tariffs, it created a hole. Boom. Not as big as COVID, right? How could it be? We didn't shut down the planet. And it's slowly working its way out. I don't think it goes anywhere else, but slowly works its way out. If you think about the reasoning behind this fundamentally, it's a pimple compared to what we did during COVID, and we recovered during COVID. Gold, I think I've got gold sitting here. Let's take a look. Yes. So here's what's going on with gold right now. After its parabolic move, it's literally come back down to test this bottom. Yeah, let me see if I could grab a little tool here. It's been testing this ever since. So it used this channel all the way up, got above it, went parabolic, and it's been bouncing off the channel ever since. Testing, 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 testing. So let's get rid of this circle, get rid of that circle. Two things happening here. This is one, which is a descending wedge. That is happening right now. Descending wedges aren't bullish usually. And the second thing that's happening, of course, is getting underneath here and staying underneath here for a couple of days is going to be detrimental, because then gold's going to want to come back a little bit. So it's testing right here. If it starts to get underneath this, I'd expect some downside coming from gold. If it holds its footing, maybe you'd get some upside. The wedge says that it's probably going to back off a little bit, but I'll take it one day at a time as a day trader. One day trade at a time. Let's think about something else. The factor that drove us down. Something as large as COVID that lasted a year, 2 years. What drove us down this time was the president of a country making an announcement that he's no longer going to allow bad trade deals on his watch. He's now going to repaper those trade deals so that they're more fair. That couldn't possibly end the stock market. You know what I mean? How could that news be so bad? How could that be so bad? So just give it time, kids. That wasn't the worst news we've ever heard. It was literally a president making a chess. It's a chess game. He made a chess move. All right, so the markets got a little freaky over it. It was just a chess move. It wasn't like the world broke like it did in COVID. It wasn't like the economy broke like it did in 2008-9. These things didn't happen. We had a politician make a chess move. Now we're seeing the end results. Right? I mean, just think of how massive the problem was. For COVID, we still recovered. This is not nearly as bad. It couldn't possibly be the reason why the market crashes. Pullbacks, yes, of course, a repricing. Things are going to pull back. But to turn us into a full-blown crash, and that's not, we'd need another reason than our president raising rent on people who want to rent time on our docks. You know what I mean? Something worse than that's going to have to knock us down. Not raising the rent on docks. But for you guys who are wondering why my videos don't get 1 million hits a day, I could use your help. If you could kind of post them wherever you can, help me out a little bit, it wouldn't hurt. Again, I spend all my time trying to get this right, not trying to advertise for myself. So in the other end, I pay for trying to get this right all the time. So oddly enough, the S&P is now in profitable zone from where we... No, it's not. It's within 10 points of where we got in. We got it in the 50s, right? Yeah. 55, 51, I think. 55, 53 was my fill. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Could I look at soybeans? We can try to find something on soybeans. Let's look. ZSN, right? First of all, let's get rid of this crazy average. It only worked on one chart. It doesn't work on everything. It's just there because I left it out on one chart. All right. Soybean market. I think more interesting is the wheat market. You know, soybeans doesn't really give a signal that it wants to do anything major. Down a little, up a little, down a little, up a little. I see no major signals. We're waiting. Planting season has started. You know, you got to get past all that. But this one's been a little more. Look at this guy. Wheat has been getting pounded, just pounded lately. So it's a daily bar. Just getting pounded. Doesn't look very healthy or happy. And if you look at the last supported area, we're below that too, right? So seems that it was supported here and here and here. All right, so this was kind of our support area lately, and boom, we're under that too. So wheat doesn't look good. And then you want to see something opposite? Look at this crazy market. The horses must be hungry. That's all I can think. The horses are hungry. Why are oats up so high? What's the deal here? Who cares? Why are oats going up? That's what I was saying. I think the horses are hungry. Everything else is on its way down in the grain department, not oats. So whatever, whoever needs oats, they've been buying them lately. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. It's probably because no one's paying attention. But it's had quite the move, huh? Let's go somewhere else. Let's go check on that coffee market. It's been crazy lately. Wow. Double top in coffee, kids. If you're a coffee trader, here's your moment. I mentioned it yesterday to my chat room, although we're not actively trading coffee, but you've got a double top here on a market that's rallied dramatically this year. So that's a double top in the coffee market. Coffee, you got that right. Coffee, I'm from New York. So, coffee daily, double top, absolutely, no doubt about it. Plus, the day it hit the double top, it dropped, which was yesterday. So, that's always a good sign that it's a double top. And there you have it. Let's go look at sugar. These are markets I used to stand in the pit and trade. I know it sounds crazy, but I actually used to trade coffee, sugar, cocoa, cotton, orange juice sometimes if I had to, platinum, palladium, gold, silver, copper, options on everything, the dollar index, the knife, which is now the Russell. I used to trade in all those pits. All right, so let's go look at sugar. March, July is sugar today, yes. Another one heading down like the grains. What's that doing? You know, sugar is one of those markets, by the way, that if you want to learn about analysis, check out how, just look at the V bottom here. I mean, it makes such perfect pieces of technical analysis. The sugar market always has. It makes perfect flags. It just makes perfect pieces of analysis. I'm not saying it's easy to trade, because you get a beautiful piece of analysis on sugar, and if somebody happens to need sugar for an end user tomorrow, boom, it blows out. It's not like the S&P full of volume, but it creates really nice pieces of technical analysis. Sugar always has. Quite the roller coaster. And I wanted to look at cocoa as well. Now that, since going to almost 12,000 per metric ton, it's back down to 8,700, 8,800, was somewhere right around there. Wow, sick market. So, you know what happened here, right? The price of cocoa spent its life being very cheap, like back here. Right? Very cheap. Price of cocoa, normal pricing, normal pricing, normal pricing, and then slowly it just started to go bananas. And then the price went to 11,000, almost 12,000 per metric ton. And as you might expect, cocoa's only grown in a few places like Ghana, a few places on the Ivory Coast. It's not grown in many places at all. And it takes a good 7 years to get a bean from a coffee plant, so you're not a cocoa plant, so you're not replacing cocoa very easily. Well, cartels came in and went, hold on, Mr. Farmer. Your crop just went up to 8,000, 9,000, 11,000 per ton. And they went, and killed all the farmers and took over their farms, because they're in the badlands of the world where the rules are few. And this is what's going to happen if your product goes from a couple $100 to $11,000. So I think the cartels all run the cocoa farms right now. Whatever cartels they are, I don't know where they're from, but these are the things that we've been told since the cocoa started way back when it went crazy. Nope, can't trade salt. Not that I know of. There's too much of it. It wouldn't do much good. The cocoa mob, whoever they may be, John. But that's a truism. That did happen. You must have imagined the cocoa farmers realizing when that price got above 5,000, 6,000, they must have started getting nervous themselves, knowing, oh, who's coming to kill us? You know what I mean? That stuff in our yard is worth zillions now. So there was one other trade that we were going to take today, and that was long bonds. But being that my site is down, being repaired, I just didn't want to put us in a handful of markets at once. But I did have trades in many markets for trading today. I wanted to be in S&P, which we did do, and the stop got hit. I wanted to be in bonds at 116.13. Stop would have never been hit. Stop was 115.19. So bonds would have been a nice trade. Had we gotten filled on that, that would have been a nice one. Russell 2000, would your stop have been hit? 40.29. No, Russell would have been okay still. And NASDAQ, would your stop have been hit? Are we taking that trade? 19,350. Oh, yeah. Glad we didn't go near the NASDAQ. Volatility taking out stops lately. You know, I don't even look at live cattle anymore. I used to trade it almost every day, Cody. But now I just, certain markets, when the exchanges existed, there were so many humans that created activity, and there was volume in those markets, and that wasn't bad. But today, you know, no one I know trades the meat markets anymore. Well, palladium, it's controlled by Russians, right? So price has always been funky. It's mostly used in truck and car catalytic converters, mostly truck, some car. Platinum's used in cars. What the heck was that? Oh boy. I don't know what just happened to my quote board. think it's gone. Oh, there we go. And palladium only comes from a few places, and we really don't use it all that much, but you do find it in truck catalytic converters. Again, though, when you start trying to trade markets that are created for end users and there are growers or producers and end users, us mere mortals in the middle, we're not really supposed to spend a lot of time in those markets. You want to be in markets that are full of market makers. So there's liquidity at every level, and you know you don't have one entity looking at the price ladder and realizing one sweep and I could take the market 7,200 points higher. Can't really do that in the S&P. You like soy meal, huh, Mike? Mika, you asking for soy meal, SM? What's SMH? Are you talking about SMH's stock? Oh, the semis. So I looked at them last week. They looked like they were on a comeback. I haven't say I looked at them at all this week, the semis. Been a little preoccupied because my ISP has been transferring my site from a metal machine to a virtual machine, and it's taking them way longer than I had planned. So it's kind of knocking me off my game of watching all the markets. Have I looked at platinum? Yeah, but it's not really much to look at, right? I mean, all right, we could go look at it. Platinum, again, do you really have a lot of speculators in platinum? I mean, how many people you think trade platinum each day? So the problem with platinum is you might get a couple of good signals today, and then tomorrow the signals don't work at all because some jewelry company needed some extra platinum, you know what I mean, or something of that nature. Gold, at least you got more volume in something like gold. Platinum used to be more expensive than gold. Gold's gone up $3,000 without platinum, or $2,500 without platinum following. So even though I used to trade platinum more actively when I was on the trading floor and it was a tradable market, I don't do much with platinum anymore. Yeah, we looked at wheat a little while ago. And wheat, let me see, we need a Z in front of that, don't we? Every machine's got a different symbol. So wheat has kind of taken on a little bit of pain. A drop below what we would call some kind of support zone right here, right? What I was showing earlier. Seems to have been supported, kind of supported, and now it's through. It's more of a channel than a wedge, right? I mean, I think I see a channel here building more so than a wedge. I think I see more of that than anything. So I don't usually do the winter wheat. We just use the world wheat market. You get intricate and start doing winter wheat and red wheat, but I just kind of stay away from the thinner the market, the better chance you are of not calling it correctly. But if you look at what this market's done is this. Look, it puts one of these in, and then it drops. And now it put one of these in, and then it dropped. It's kind of the pattern that it's been making. Oh, anything else I really care about at the moment? Dollar index. Now this one's getting interesting right here. Have you noticed? Dollar. I like the way it's starting to crawl all over this bottom trend line. this bottom trend line. I like the way dollar is starting to work the bottom trend line here. And look what else this thing is doing. Let's move this out of the way. Kind of looks like a little baby inverted head and shoulders. Something like that sitting here. So maybe, just maybe, we're getting a little inverted head and shoulders here. Which wouldn't hurt at all to see the dollar head back up. The dollar's in a great spot now. You don't need it to get too cheap, then people start complaining too much. Well, there you go. It is holding this trend line. In fact, this trend line needs to go down just a little bit. It needs to be here. So it is holding the trend line, no doubt. Of course. I would think if dollar goes up strong, yes, gold will feel the pain. If the stock market starts recovering smartly, gold's going to feel the pain. Why? Stock market started to get hit. Jerome Powell stopped raising rates, stopped lowering rates. Stock market started to get hit. Trump came in, talked about tariffs, it got hit further, and the price of gold went up. Well, if you start backing off those two things, you know what I mean? What do you get next? In other words, if the stock market starts to go back up and the world starts making deals with the U.S., you know. Those are my profit objectives, telling us that had we not been stopped out, we'd be taking profits right now. F you, buddy. At least the OMNI was right, just not where the stop belongs. Maybe we'll catch a nice ride tonight. That'd be nice. Go crude. Push that sucker down. That's interesting, Talon. I'm not going to say no to that. I mean, gold just can't keep on going forever. It's not really worth what it is right now. It's worth whatever they'll pay. So, yes, that's the right price. But should it be this expensive right now? I don't know that that's the right thing, you know. No, I don't think so. Hey, anything's possible, JC. The good thing about that is that we're day traders. I don't care which way this thing goes, as long as it goes. You know what I mean? Going one direction works for me. So now, if we're all stuck in a bad trade, do we all pray to you, JC? What do we do? So, what's the big crash, Charlie? I mean, is that like in the forecast that we're going to have a big crash? Because if you have that information, please send it my way. I will mortgage the farm and get short if you've got the information. If not, I'm going to go off the chart. Excuse No, no, I, I was making a point, Charlie. Could you imagine if one of us knew for sure just one day? You know, could you imagine if we just knew for sure? We'd only need 1 day settlement, right? That's all we'd need. So I do a lot of analysis, and I believe in the analysis, but I don't know ever that it's actually going to work. But if I just had 1 day where I knew for sure, if any of us did, we'd be the richest people in the world that day. The one terrible thing about the markets, anytime you ever take that big shot, it's always wrong. You ever notice that? Anytime you take the big shot, it's always wrong. You know, it's almost like when you overtrade. Have any of you ever like trade the exact same amount of lots every time, or the same amount of shares, and one day you just decide to open up and do much larger because the work looks so good, the analysis looks so good, the report's going to be so strong? Isn't that always the worst day? It's like the worst set of analysis you've ever done. I notice that happens to me consistently. If I decide to open up, as long as let's say I was a 5 lot trader, as long as I'm 5 in, 5 out, 5 in, 5 out, 5 in, 5 out, everything seems to be okay. On a day where I go, you know what, this looks like a good one, let me do 20, it's always the worst trade of the week. You know what I mean? It's always the worst trade of the week. So, ES is now in the 5560s. No, it's not that, Cody. It's got nothing to do with that. You know why? Nobody cares about a 20 lot order, a 2 lot order, a 5 lot order. No one cares about our trading. It's so much bigger than that. They would never go after a stop that's too small. You know what I mean? 20 lots, 2 lots, 5 lots. No one knows when you're trading. It's when you place your order or your stop in the place where everybody else placed theirs without knowing that that's where they placed theirs, that's where you run into trouble, which is what's been happening to us this month. Because we'd be up right now, not down, if the stop was in the right spot or the entry was in the right spot. So ES went 95 points against us to come back and go in our favor. And it's 213. It's not even, the day's not even over yet. Well, Stacy, I can say this about Bitcoin. Its fundamentals are set to go parabolic, for sure. And the chart looks good, too. So, I'm not going to say it's not going to go higher. Nothing goes straight up, especially Bitcoin. But, you know, I'm not going to argue on the downside for Bitcoin. I'd only argue on the upside. Nice to hear. So gold had you'd have to call today a muted day in gold. It only had a $50 range. You'd have to call that muted, right? Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I try to just be honest. You know what I mean? No Oscar opinion, not what I think. Got nothing to do with that. I read the charts, I interpret them to the best of my ability, pure, and I send them to you guys. You know, it will calm down fighting. You'll see fighting secrets. It'll start to calm down after a while. The volatility is so grand right now that every entity is having trouble trying to get in and out of this thing if they're day trading or short-term trading. Volatility will come in. In fact, if you ask me, it already has started to come in a little bit. Stops are starting to get just slightly smaller all across the board when I see the stop placements. So slowly it's starting to come in just a little. But the volatility is massive at the moment, so it's not going to stop tomorrow. So I've been using the TradingView platform. It's on my left right now, although you probably can't see it with this crazy screen, chat room covering it. But I've been using it to watch the tranny and the Dow more than anything else. I think if I had to resort to it as my trading system, I'd get more into the nuts and bolts of it, but it's giving me what I need right now, which is real-time quotes and Dow and tranny, and I don't really need it for anything else. I've got a lot of systems here. But I don't dislike it. I'm not going to talk bad about it, Mika. So I started messing with it about 10 days ago. Gave it a little bit of time 3 days ago to kind of make sure that I understood what it was doing, but I haven't really gotten into the nuts and bolts of it yet. I think I need something to drink other than this orange juice, however. And it's McDonald's orange juice. Of all things, somebody must have went to McDonald's this morning. I found this on my desk when I walked in. Dorman. Oh, am I in caps? Sorry about that. When I write on charts, I'm always in caps. Could I add Global M2? Probably on TradingView. I don't know that I can add it on the system that you're looking at right here. If they made it into a futures market, the system you're looking at would find it. If it's pure stock, it'll be on a different system. Or I'll check it out on Metastock or something like that. So you realize Global M2, anything global, you do realize in the end, if the U.S. doesn't do it, it doesn't mean anything. You realize that, right? Does not matter what they promise, what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to do. No one in the world's going to care if Brazil, India, and China did something. If Brazil, Russia, and China did something, no one's going to care. They care if the U.S. does something. It's not going to matter. They try, if you remember, they tried the brick bank, BRICS. Oh, let's move away from the U.S. dollar. Well, guess who wanted to be in charge of that? China. Guess what China did? Defaulted on all the loans, weren't giving the banks what they needed, and the whole thing fell apart. Don't listen to the nonsense. What you're supposed to pay attention to is what's actual and real, and not the rhetoric that just keeps getting belted out every second. Millions of pounds of it comes out. Just keep your eyes on the real stuff. If it happened and it's real, keep your eyes on that. If it's rhetoric, until it comes out, don't even get involved. That's probably 1 billion under the proper number. You're probably 1.1, you're 1,100,000,000 short, Charlie, if you ask me. Those are the ones that they've counted. There's a lot of kids that were born under the one-child rule or two-child rule. A lot of kids that were born under that nobody knew about because what were you going to do with your third child? Float it down the river? So I bet you those numbers are wrong. Something tells me those numbers are not correct. That probably, Charlie, if you remember, only 900 people in China died. You know that, right? Only 900. I think actually the number was 90 at first, and they raised it to 900. So that's it. COVID didn't affect the Chinese. It only affected the rest of the world. So must be a bad stat you're giving us. COVID didn't affect Chinese people. The ones that are out in the country that don't even have hospitals anywhere near them, they didn't die. Nothing happened to them in China. So there's all kinds of talk about China, but you must realize they're not what they say. It's like Russia. A lot more saber rattling than truth going on there. Yes, absolutely. Well, it was a two-child policy, wasn't it? Was it a two-child policy? But what are you going to do with the third? I could teach it to a mold, probably, but it'd be better to teach it to a 7-year-old. My kids do the analysis. My kids do Omni really well. In fact, my son Mikey, he's doubled his account trading Omni so far. His own money. Daddy didn't give him a dime. Daddy knows better than that. Daddy puts money in the trading account, you end up with a spoiled brat. You know what I mean? My son who worked his butt off as a lifeguard at Mandalay Bay and catering and all the other stuff he did during college, put that money in his trading account. You don't get a spoiled brat out of that. You get somebody who watches out for their money. So you realize right now the docks, the ships, the railroads, the workers, the factories in China are all like during COVID. They're just sitting there wondering what to do next. And the whole rest of the world is humming. And China is in quiet mode. They will definitely they'll want to alleviate that situation. And you know they're going to come to the Trump administration and the two of them will make some kind of a deal and away everybody will go. It's a matter of time. The Chinese have to present this to their people as it's a war, and they can't come in and lose the war, right? They can't come in and say, U.S. made a better deal, so they have to save face and slowly dole this out to their people. But you'll see, they'll come make a deal. It'd be stupid not to. Who are you going to sell your crap to? No one else in the world buys crap like the U.S. buys crap. I used R.J. O'Brien for many years. I like Dorman much better. I left R.J. O'Brien, in fact, and went to Dorman. I remember R.J. O'Brien when they were a little company. I used to go visit them in Chicago. Oh yeah, I did business with them for years and years. You gotta remember, I started in 1982. I've done business with just about everybody. Yes, completely different than day trading. We are on the front lines, kids. We are the soldiers in the trench shooting at the other soldiers that are 10 feet away from us in their trench. We're as close as you can get to modern day warriors. We're not sitting in the back offices behind the lines with a big position of someone else's money. We're trading our own money on the front line. You know what I'm saying? It's some serious crap we do. Nice to hear an F flag on the SMH chart, Golden. We could use one of those. It did flicker very quickly around 1407. Something happened over there. Some news came out somewhere. We jumped up very quickly at around 1407. We went from 55.30 38 to like 55.60 very quickly. If I remember right, just watching the ticker board. All right, I need to go grab something to drink. Anybody need anything? You need a beer, Dano? I could use some Crown Royal after this week. Especially watching my trade go profitable after getting the stop hit. I'll be back in a minute. back, and I've got my soda. Well, you know, Charlie, the forces of nature are forcing me to do YouTube Live, and you know what? Don't force Oscar to do something because he's going to do it. So, is what it is. I guess YouTube Live is my new thing. Not that I mind. I actually tried to incorporate this into my live trading room my whole career. You can't do both. I can't seem to do that. So we get this chat room that comes out with YouTube, and I could chat with you guys that way. But in my live trading room, we have way more access to one another. I could send instant messages. There's all kinds of great stuff we can do that I can't do on YouTube. The other thing is, every time someone types, I hear a sound. And then I know to look at my screen. YouTube doesn't offer that, so when you guys type, I never hear it. I never know what's going on. So I always have to be staring at this chat room. I'd love for YouTube to institute some kind of a sound when someone types, hear a boop, you know, and then at least you know. Well, I know him. Of course I've used Daniel's Trading. I know them very well. I spent many, many nights out with them, in their offices, working with them. I think so. I think all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, Charlie, and then you'll get a notification if I do anything live. But yes, I worked with a lot of the Daniels brokers for a long time. Fun guys. If I remember right, Daniels used to take his whole crew here to Vegas. I think he owned a hotel here for a little while. He used to take his whole crew here to Vegas to party. What he would do is give them all, imagine this, he would give them all their bonus checks at the end of the year at the party in Vegas. And he had a spot in his hotel where you could cash your bonus check in if you wanted to gamble in his hotel. He was not stupid at all. Am I a mob boss? Well, I can say this much. This ring comes from a mob boss, a real one, who sits here right now. He's in my room with me right now. There he is, Uncle Jack. He's with me. He stays with me every day. He was an OG, one of the real guys from days in Brooklyn. And he handed this down to me, and boy, do I cherish it. I wear it every day. Hey, Uncle Jack. I don't know anything. There's no such thing as the mob. You know, I got somebody else hanging with me lately, too. I know you guys heard about it a couple of weeks ago, but I got my brother Joe hanging with me, too. Joe used to work on the exchange with me when he was 20, 21. Brother Joe. So now he hangs here with Uncle Jack. I will say this. One of the smartest things I ever seen them do. So the Mafia was very interesting. Yes, there were a lot of stupid knuckleheads, but the higher-ups were not stupid at all. They were really, really intelligent people. Now, maybe if you spoke to them on the street and the way they would speak to you, you would think, well, this guy's nothing but an uneducated, whatever, wop, whatever you'd want to call him. But in all honesty, they were not. The higher-level guys were absolute geniuses, and here's why. They would find money in places, legal or not, that was sitting right in front of everyone else, but no one can find it. Now, I'm not going to say it would be the proper way to make money, but they knew where to find money while it was sitting out in front of everyone. Yeah, it's part of their ashes, Charlie. So here's a for instance. some mob, one of the mobster mid-tier guys, wasn't top tier, wasn't low tier, but mid-tier guys, one day says, goes to his boss, one of the higher ups, says, boss, I'm going to invest in something because I figured out a scheme. Did you know that if you own a gas station, you collect the money every single day and you only got to pay the taxes out once a year at the end of the year? So you collect all that tax money. And here's what I think we should do. We should go out and buy every gas station we should buy. And right at the end of the year, we'll file for bankruptcy, put that gas station out of business, and open it up under another name every year. And these guys figured out a tax loophole right in front of everyone's eyes that no one's seen and made billions of dollars until Giuliani closed the loophole years later. Billions of dollars. They went and bought every gas station they could get their hands on. Because imagine collecting all that cash and charging people taxes and putting the tax money on the side. Most businesses have to funnel that up to the government at least once a quarter. Well, with gas stations, for whatever reason, you only had to funnel it up once a year. Well, you go bankrupt right before the year's over and then open up under another name. And they did it, these guys. What knuckleheads. They got away with it for years. Now, you've ever heard the term washing money? Do you know where that comes from? Does anyone know? You got to be quick because these days people look crap up on the internet. If you don't answer it now, you're looking it up. All right, so I'll tell you where it comes from. If you remember, up until just 10, 15, 20, the most years ago, there were gas station attendants at every gas station you ever went to. You did not pump your own gas. They came to your car, they checked your oil, they washed your windshield, they pumped your gas. Well, you handed them the cash, and their hands always had gasoline on them, and the cash smelled like gas. They would take the cash, and they would buy laundry mats, and they would bring the cash and literally throw them in the washer and then in the dryer and get the money to smell better. I swear to God, that's where washing cash came from. They used to wash the cash. Depends on where you're from, Mark. In Jersey, I don't think you still can pump your own. I think you still need an attendant. There's some places where you can't pump your own. Or you pull into the gas station, pump your own is one price, more expensive. It's cheaper. And for them to pump, it's more. They still have stuff like that in Jersey, if I remember right, last time I was up there. So anyway, these are just one of the many things I would see them do and go, wow, they just find that money sitting there. Not that they're supposed to have it, but they find it just sitting there where no one else sees it. Sounds good, Kev. Come on over, man. Boy, I have some deep stories. You have no idea. I had my chance to... So, here's a setup. If you really know what's going on and you really knew those boys back in the day when they existed, you could work for them as a kid and the rules did not apply to you. I'm talking the rules like you're not allowed to do this and you can only do that and you got to have you must have a shaved face and you got to kick up to the boss and God forbid you hit a guy that's a made man. There's all kinds of rules when you're past 18. But when you're a kid, you could work for them from like 13 till 18 and break every single rule you want and nothing happens to you. The guy who brings you in gets himself in a little bit of trouble because you're a young kid and he pays for it, not you. So me and my friends would work for them constantly knowing that until we hit 18, we can do anything we want to these guys and none of them will touch us. They'll just beat up the guy that hired us. We had a lot of fun. There's so many stories. we would get our bosses beat up on purpose sometimes because we didn't like them. And if we did something wrong, the boss got beat up. Not us. We were kids. They didn't touch the kids. Kids were sacred. It was a wonderful place to be. You had to know them. You had to know who they were to get jobs like that. But what a safe place. They protected you like crazy. And if you did something wrong, you didn't get in trouble for it. The guy who brought you in did. You hit 18, the rules change. When you hit 18, you start to become a man. Things are different when you get out of high school. So, as you might imagine, I kind of toyed around with some of their crazy jobs, me and my friends as kids. And the day before I turned 18, I never worked with them again. I said, no, don't think I'm going to go in this route, kids. I'm going the other way. I'm going to college. But yeah, you get to make your choice. You don't have to do anything with them except for use it as a job and have some fun and learn some cool stuff. It's a job like any other job, as long as you don't get past 18. Boy, I've had some jobs. These guys were such shysters, I swear. They would do stuff like, hey, Oscar, come here. See all this stuff that was selling at the auction? There are people walking around. Listen to them. See if you find someone interested in something. If you do, tell them at the auction, just buy one and I'll sell you all the rest out the back door. You take our stuff, steal it from us, and sell it to them and then kick us back the money. This is what they would ask me to do, you know what I mean? Just stupid stuff like that. Stealing their own stuff from the auction. Just these guys were insane. They figured out ways to make money in spots you'd never dream of. And I'd be able to help people out. I'd go, hey, how many of those showcases are you going to buy here today? 15 of them. It's going to cost you like 30 grand. Why don't you buy 2 of them and I'll sell you the rest for 10 grand out the back door? They'd, no, thank you. And I would do it. And I would pretend to them that it was a secret. Nobody could know. Meanwhile, the bosses are back there, big smiles on their faces, laughing. You know what I mean? Hey, kid's doing good. He's robbing our stuff and selling it for us. Wild volatility? Oh, my God. That's why I'm talking about all this stuff right now. Now, this wild volatility for fund managers is a dream come true. If you are managing a 401k and you get the opportunity for the markets to drop from 6,200 down to 4,800, you've been blessed by God. But we're day traders. That's a different story. For us, that's not a blessing. We can't just buy stuff and hold on. You know what I mean? So for us, it gets a little tricky. It gets a little dicey when that happens. And as I was mentioning earlier, you cannot resort to widening your stops to the point that it's now the stop of a fund manager, but you're a day trader who takes day trader profits on most normal days. And now we're having a volatile time. You're still not going to get those insane profits because you're a day trader who doesn't stick around that long, but you will have the insane stop attached to your trade. So just how far are you supposed to let that stop go to then consider yourself a day trader, or have you now crossed realms where you started the morning off as a day trader and allowed the stop to be a fund manager stop? You know, you can't play games with yourself. You can't do that. You can't lie to yourself. You can't change your system. So basically, you get stopped out and live with it. And when the volatility slows down, things get better. Or you don't trade. The problem with not trading is then you miss when things turn and stuff going your way. You're not part of it. And then you're playing catch up. So we never want to play catch up. So how many of you can hear me right now? And how many of you will show up if I stream every day? Mr. Tipton. Okay. Charlie will be there. Well, that's enough, Charlie. I'll take that. All right, Cody. Very cool. Yeah, because, I have to make this where that can't happen to me again. I'm very upset that my room is down. This doesn't happen. It's not by my doing. I don't mind when I take my own stuff down, but I'm at the hands of an ISP who says we're making changes, you're going to deal with it, and that I am not happy with. Talon, as well as I am always learning every day myself. I learn something new every day, something different. I try to mark it. I try to think about it. What happened that I've learned new today that I didn't know yesterday? My kids, if you're ever listening on this microphone, my kids go off to school every day. I tell them the same thing every day. Learn something new today. I don't care if it's one thing, and it doesn't have to be something in school. Could be a different way to get to school. Could be that you learned a new store opened up down the street. I don't care. Learn a new piece of information and store it here every day. Something new. So I try to do that with myself every day. Well, super, I guess I have no choice. Okay, why don't I stream every day? Because part of my life and part of my analysis is having music on in the background. I have to have my music on. When I'm doing homework, if that music's not cranking, we're not getting the best homework out of me. YouTube goes like this. Facebook threw me off once, well, threw off my videos and banned me for 2 months from doing live for having music in the background. Or no, that was because I showed 30, I showed a minute and a half of a live fight. I was at a fight one day. That was stupid of me. So I like to play music. I like that music to be loud. YouTube does not, yeah, it was boxing. YouTube does not appreciate that. So what they'll do is they'll mute my videos on me. So that's kind of why I've always resisted streaming every day. I don't need, in order to stream, it might alter the way I view markets, and we don't need that, right? So I'm sort of in a box when it comes to this. Yeah, but it's not the same. I like the ambience of sound. I like to hear myself tapping on things. I like to hear the alerts if they're ringing, you know what I mean? I need to hear what's going on around me. If someone's in the room speaking to me, I want to know. I like headphones if I'm by myself to be by myself. Otherwise, I don't even like to have my windows up in a car. Whether it's hot or cold out, and if I got the music on, I like the windows down so I could hear what's going on outside of my car. Well, if I mute the mic, then you guys hear nothing and I don't speak. Right? That really defeats the purpose too, Dano. I'm trying to figure out a way around it. Keep coming up with your great ideas. By the way, Dano, if you don't know him, Dan Tipton is, you know when you got your back to the wall and you turn around and there's somebody there holding you up? That's Dano. Thank you so much, Dan. We love him. He's got my back in every way, helps me out more than anybody I know. We even do road trips together. When I do OMNI camps, he comes to help me out there as well. That's how helpful he is, right? So thank you, Dano. I am having a great day. So, you know, Mark, it's interesting. In my live chat room, if I use Google for my browser, I can crank music and they can't hear a word of it, a sound of it, but they can hear every word I speak. For some reason, background sound is completely muted. And then if I use Microsoft in the same chat room, they can hear the music, which it has its own filter built in. I wish I could figure out how to do that on YouTube. Because it's part of Google, right? It's part of Google owns YouTube. They should be able to throw that filter in. They own it. So welcome. Now, by the way, Omniax is not a name I gave. That's a pet name that my trading room gave itself many years ago. And I thought that was the coolest thing. They called themselves Omniax. And I went, you know, I think that's cool. And then we had the Alter Omniax that opened up a website called, what they used to call this thing? The Deserted Isle of Omniax. And it was everyone I've ever thrown out of my chat room that still wanted to be together went to another spot to bash me together. It was great. I loved it. The Omniax Outcasts site. People would be unruly in my chat room. I'd just throw them out. You know what I mean? It's sorry. We're here to trade, not argue with each other. I do not fight with people. It's not my way to fight with people on the internet. We're here to learn together, help each other, and not fight with each other. So, in their early 20s, they watch my videos, huh? Well, thank you for even telling me that, Super. Here's what's interesting about that. I would love to be able to help the entire, what would we call them? I don't want to use an improper word because I'm actually proud of these kids and what they've accomplished. You know the group They call them the meme stock traders, but I don't think that that's what they are. They just found something, a loophole, and took smart advantage of it. But you know the whole AMC run that had happened, where these kids just took that stock to places where it was not supposed to go and caught Wall Street being short forever, that stock off guard. I would like to help the crowd, that crowd, know how to use analysis to make a decision instead of what they read about or get hyped up over from other people on the internet who claim that they know so much that they should just follow them. I would like to teach that crowd how to do the homework for themselves. And if they could get that done, then they don't need to listen to any of the nonsense that gets put out there. That puts so much doubt and hope in your head and makes you either buy stuff or sell stuff or think it's right. But if you can do proper analysis yourself and see smart results, there's nothing better than that. There's no one that you need to rely on. So it's kind of why I open up my OMNI camps for 3 to 5 people once every few months. I'll teach 6 maximum, once every 4 months, once every 3 months. So it's never a huge crowd. I don't teach this to a lot of people, very small crowd. And it's never overproduced. There's not too many of us doing the trading. And it helps people all over the world. So we just keep moving forward. Some of you Omniacs have been out to camp. You know what I'm talking about. If you're in the room, feel free to say if camp was good for you or not. And if it was bad for you, please be honest. We expect it to be good for you, right? If it was bad, you tell me that. Now, it's a serious problem that they're doing to these kids. They're teaching them how to get involved into markets through feelings. Use your feelings. Use the stuff that people say should happen. It's not what they should be doing. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to learn. You're not supposed to learn golf incorrectly, where you have a slice to the right for half your life and then try to get it fixed. You're supposed to start off with the proper golf swing from the beginning, and you'll be a pretty decent golfer years later. These kids are going to be taught absolutely incorrectly and have to try to correct bad trading habits. I tell this to Omniacs all the time. If you're a novice, come to my camp now. Let's get you right before you get out there and start swinging. You know what I mean? Start off with the right swing and then practice that forever. Don't start off with a bad swing and then want to come to me when you're 20 years deep for help. I can give it to you, but you missed 20 years of getting it right. No financial education in the UK, huh? Talk about college being overrated. College is overrated 1,000%. If you are not going to be doctor, dentist, lawyer, streamed, pinpointed at something, college is perfect. It's great. It's wonderful. If you're going to college because you think you need a college degree to get a better job, but you don't know what kind of job you're going to get, don't go to college. Take a vocation and go to work. You'll make much more money that way. Yes, if you are pinpointed at something, hey, there are people that are born knowing what they want to do. That's what college is for. College isn't made for your kid that got C's in kindergarten, C's in junior high school, C's and B's in high school. College is not for that kid. Send that kid to work. So, my daughter said to me, Dad, I want to go to college for music. And I went, isn't that interesting? We'll go to 4 years to school for college for music and come out with a degree that can only be used in one specific area. Right? One area only. What else are you going to do with that degree? So, if you do this, she was getting ready to go to high school. You go to a vocational high school. You learn a vocation there. You also know how to do the OMNI. You know how to do OMNI trading. You know how to do OMNI analysis. You've got that. You show me a vocation, I'll let you go to college for music. She's a great musician. She's a songwriter, singer, great kid. Piano, drums, you name it. So she decides, okay, that's fair. And she graduated high school with a cosmetology degree, full-blown cosmetology degree, hair, makeup, nails, you name it. Could open up her own salon if she wants. And now she's in school second year for college. Had she not gone for that vocation, I would have not allowed her to go to school for just music. So Otherwise, no, don't go to college to waste time. Why would you do that? So she's not wasting time, but I didn't think that would be the right degree. If she decided not to be in music, what would you do? All right, well, you got something else on the side. Now the kid's all right. Maybe one day she'll be the best singing hairstylist in Vegas. Who knows, right? But she's got both of her degrees. So I don't know if the word corrupt is correct or covert. Because the Fed used to be covert till 2008 9. You know that, right? Everything was covert action. I mean, it was ridiculous. You didn't know what the Fed was going to do. You didn't know why they did it. You didn't know when they were going to do it. And when they did it, sometimes it'd be 4 in the morning. You didn't know what was coming next. So, yeah, they had a lot of secrecy back then. Who knows what they were doing? Fed is way more transparent in our day and age. So I post on stock twits every day. But only my video. I don't know how to have a conversation there. I don't know what to do there. It's too confusing. I don't know who's talking to who about what. But I do post there. I have a lot of followers there. INTC at 1388. So, one of the things that I like to do is I like to make sure that I don't even analyze a stock that doesn't have a minimum 10 point range per day. If you're not moving on average about 10 points a day, I don't even want to analyze the stock. So, I do analyze INTC. I analyze all kinds of stocks. I wouldn't want to trade a stock as a day trader that doesn't move more than $10 a day. So for day trading purposes, I have to look for stocks that do that. You know what I mean? For investing purposes, every stock out there has got some cool chart that you can look at and find something smart about. INTC. Let me just close my eyes and picture it. Oh, that was this. Oh, yeah. If I remember right, that's been down for a while. My eyes are closed, but that chart's been like this for a while, right? The INTC chart. Not straight down, but like slowly down. If I remember right, that's where that was. Okay. You know, if you pictured the chart, which I don't even want to touch Metastock again. I almost blew up my whole thing before. The chart should be like slowly down, not insanely down, like not spiking down, but it went mostly slowly down, didn't it, INTC, if I'm picturing the right chart in my mind? Maybe not in the last week or two. Okay, that's the right chart. So yeah, not much to say about that, but it doesn't look very good. So it's 3 o'clock. Day trading style, if you will. Markets are certainly not putting in a day that's going to give us a. It's probably going to give everyone systems out there a sell signal tonight. I'm starting to flip around up here. We'll see where we close, right? Long way to the close. But if we close here, it's kind of. What do you call this? What kind of a day would we call this? It's all over the place. Dow's down 98. Dow's down 222. Traded down 98. ES, NASDAQ, Russ, YM all down. So someone's signal is going to be pointing to the downside tonight. I don't know what OMNI's going to say. Thinking streetwise, I'm sure a lot of systems are going to flip back to bearish again tonight. I never know what OMNI's going to say until I do the OMNI homework. There have been days, many times it surprises me when it stays bullish or bearish when I think it's going to change. So I don't try to anticipate. Oh, what's up, Mike? Well, the first 3 months of the Trump markets were good. This month, cannot say I've been able to call it correctly on the charts and not trade it correctly. My stops keep getting hit. The micro futures, I think it's a great place to get your mojo, Stacy. I think it's just a great. It's where I have my son getting his mojo. You might as well learn there. If you're going to make mechanical mistakes like put in a buy for a sell, the wrong symbol of the contract, hit a market order when you meant to put a stop, you might as well learn that stuff in the micro markets. I think it's a great place to get your mojo. And once you got something you're good at and you've been doing it a couple of months and you're getting it right every day, you jump up to the normal markets. So usually, actually, crypto, we usually do really well in volatile markets. I mean, OMNI kicks ass in volatile markets. Ask anyone that's been following it. My stops this month have just been particularly incorrect. Good trades, bad stops. Can't say more than that. And the other side of it is I've only had about 13 or 14 fills out of a month where we generally have 30 to 40. So we haven't even had that many fills. You know what I mean? The ones we got filled in, stops would be hit. A couple of them were, of course, winning trades. And most of the ones that we didn't get filled in were fantastic calls, just never got to the OMNI spot to let us in. So really nothing more than insane volatility, having a month, you know what I mean? If we want to just larger picture this, OMNI had one losing month last year, maybe two, but I don't remember two. Maybe one losing month the year before. It's having a losing month this year. You find someone else that could produce that with day trades, day after day, month after month, year after year. The OMNI has been doing that. So, we're having a losing month. So what? And every trade the OMNI's ever produced, by the way, and I've ever shown anyone, they're all listed on my website. So you can go back to the first trade and see every single trade. And by the way, we send these trades out to people all over the world. You cannot retract them. You can't pretend you didn't say that. Oh, just kidding. I didn't say get long today when we lost. You can't do that, right? So all these trades are sent to the public and they're listed on my site. It's as real as it gets. So if you can find somebody or some system that could give you average 11 winning months a year day trading, you stay with it, right? So let the OMNI lose a little bit. Who cares? It's been killing it for years for us. So this is our losing month. I think it's great. We get it out of our way early in the year. If I remember right, last year, Dano, was it August? No, we had a losing month in the middle of the year last year. I don't remember what year it was, what month it was, but I remember it kicking my ass. Sort of like what April has done. April's kicked my ass. Now, if I followed that guy in the videos, April would have been the best month I ever had. I did follow him, but the guy in the video has to put stops in somewhere. That's where we keep getting in trouble. When you've been trading every day as long as I have, a winning week, a winning month, a losing week, a losing month, a losing quarter, a winning quarter. As long as you don't have a losing year, I don't even recognize it anymore. It must be tougher for you guys to sit through me. I've been through so many of these battles. Not every month do I win, but we've been here a long time now. Sell in May, is that still valid? I don't know what the hell's going to happen. In all honesty, that hasn't really worked a lot, except for maybe in the last year or two. In the last 6 years, I think we've seen that work twice, sell in May. Hasn't worked as much as it used to before COVID. Maybe before COVID. I think really everything changed in 2008-9. Everything did. It's all been the same. COVID didn't make changes. Everything changed in 2008-9. All that stuff flipped to new things to watch. In other words, after 2009, we used to have summers that went straight up. They went crazy in the summer. When you're supposed to sell in May and walk away, we'd have insanely busy summers, which we never used to see. So lots of stuff changed since 2008-9. But yeah, sell in May and walk away used to be a pretty smart thing to do. Mark, love to hear that. Oh, that says minus 10%. I'm sorry about that. I thought that was, I didn't see the minus sign. So, luckily, because we don't hold positions ever, we just have a day trade. Day traders win, day traders loss. So, it really doesn't matter too much to me which way it goes, as long as we trend a little bit. It'd be nice to get some trending. The choppiness is cool too, but if the Omni flips every day, that gets a little bit tough to navigate. So let's see, it is 309. 2 hours literally before the close, just under 2 hours before the close of ES, under an hour before the close of the stock market. It's down 202 now. Let's look at silver. I'll look at silver with you. You know, that's where I started in this business. I started in the silver pit. That was my spot. I don't know if N is drawn up yet. Let's see if this one, if this chart's drawn up. All right, so we have a K. Look what's on here. The Widowmaker, silver. It makes widows, I promise you. So, you know, it just moves in sympathy. Yeah, you mentioned, I guess. Well, here's what's interesting, getting off the silver for a moment. You said that gas went up, but crude's been going down. So what you're seeing is, don't forget, when we see crude today, well, some gas station, gas company bought that crude a month or two ago and is taking delivery now, and they're paying the price. They paid whatever they paid 2 months ago. So when they put it out on the market, you know, if they hedged incorrectly, it's costing them a couple of dollars. If they hedged correctly, they're making profit. So probably what you've got is the gas station that you used or the gas stations in that area hedged at a little bit higher spot. And now they're putting out what they paid for 3 months ago or 2 months ago, you know. Anyway, the silver chart, ever since it sort of double topped, right? I guess that was what the market wanted to call itself, double top right here. That's what it decided to call itself, and then just tanked. From there, basically, if you ask me, you were only able to get this out of silver when you got a monstrosity of a run out of gold. So doesn't matter how much interest comes in silver. It doesn't matter how much, it never goes. My entire career, it has not moved at all. My whole career. Gold is worth 10 times more than it used to be. Copper's worth 10 times more than it used to be. Silver's in the same place it ever was. Why? Well, silver's a byproduct of mining for copper and many other metals. Zinc, you name it, even sometimes gold. Silver shows up. I call silver the natural gas of the metals markets. So silver never goes anywhere. I mean, it hasn't in my lifetime. And my mentor that trained me on, taught me these markets on the trading floor, Dominic Orciello, gave me this exact same speech when he was in his 50s. That he's been here for 30 years now, and silver's never gone anywhere, but gold has gone up and copper's gone up. And he gave me the same speech I'm giving you, but he gave that speech to me when I was 18. Now I'm giving that speech to you. 2 generations. of gold going up without silver. Silver is the natural gas of the metals markets. There's too much of it, and it shows up too easily when you mine for other stuff. And let's just go to crude for a moment. Let's do this one. No, it's N. Nancy. M. Aren't we in June? There we go. It's June crude. This is not a market pointing up in any way, shape, or form, right? You guys know my thoughts of crude because I've shown you this chart in dozens and dozens of videos. This is crude. These are the prices crude goes to. First 55, and like magic from here it hits 55.12. I mean, just a little bit of an upswing. Stayed under my knock area, which was this thing. If you guys follow my videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Knock. Came through the door. Went down and hit my target. First one of 55. Then ultimately it'll hit 47.50. Now it's on its way down there. This whole thing is bearish, which I've been showing you for months on end in charts. And then if we take it to that daily we were looking at, it's no prettier on this. Right? It's not any prettier than that chart we just looked at. So crude is going down. It's going to probably reach that 47.50 target that we talked about. I don't know where it goes after, and it won't go straight down, but we'll get there eventually. And as you can see, that's kind of starting to fall apart now. And last time it did one of these little channels, it dropped pretty smartly, right? And let's get rid of that. So we just did something like this. Kind of looks the same, right? Down she goes. So, has gold and silver decoupled? Well, let's go look at the gold-silver ratio. Right now it's 101.69. It's right here. You know, the gold-silver ratio stayed in the 80s for my entire career. My entire career it stayed in the 80s. So has gold and silver decoupled? Absolutely. Silver can't possibly stay with gold. Silver moves in sympathy with gold, but it doesn't have the value store that gold has, as you notice. People have been touting silver. Let me ask you, how many commercials have you seen your entire life on those commercials about buying silver? Buy silver, get your coins, get your silver, get your bags, buy your silver. We have coins, here you go. Make sure you get as much as you can. You're going to need it one day. For what? What are you going to do with it? It's going to be worth the same in 100 years as you paid for it now. Same thing that's happened with this 80 years of generation between me and my mentor. That hasn't moved at all. So yes, I think it's decoupled a long time ago. It will always move in sympathy, direction-wise with gold, but it can't compete because it's just not worth it. There's silver everywhere. You know, we paid for our wars. Lincoln paid for the wars by taking all the silver out of Nevada. And boy, did they take billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars of silver out of Nevada. They took all the trees out of Nevada too, so that they could use it to make mines and shore the mines up for all the silver. And there's a lot of silver in this country. Silver causes cancer of the trading account. Everyone knows that. That's why it just stays where it is. I don't say I don't. No, I grew up in silver. I love silver. I just don't think it's ever going to go anywhere. Silver is the anti-gravity machine. Anything that touches silver doesn't go up anymore, ever. If you put silver on a rocket, it won't go off the ground. It'll just go up a half a foot and implode. Hello, sir. Hey, the site's up. They finally finished their migration.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Hello, site. I missed you.
I'm checking it from 34,000 feet up.
Well, thank you, sir. You're live on the air right now.
Oh.
We're live streaming on YouTube. Thank you, Ben. Ben called to tell me that my site's back up. Oh, yeah, there it is. I just clicked on some stuff and it's happening. Site's working. Charts are in place. Is there a chat room? Let's see if there's a chat room access.
Hopefully
Chat
that link
live.
works.
I think I'm getting into the chat room. Everyone's watching, by the way. I'm doing this live on YouTube streaming for everyone to watch. I mean, literally, the page and everything. The camera won't work because I'm using the camera here. Whoa, my chat room's back. My site's back. I hate the ISP I'm using, but at least it's back. So, you know what, though? I will admit it's never been down ever in the whole time I've been doing this, unless we took it down on purpose, so I can't be too mad at them. They haven't really trashed me too badly.
16 years.
Yeah. They've been kind of good to us. All right, well, at least we got our site back. I feel a little better about that. Well, Ben, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough.
Oh, so I'm not the one that I was just checking, but I kind of had there was something going on. I had a suspicion, and then I checked.
So they finally probably put the DNS stuff in that needed to get put in, or whatever they needed to do to make it work. Yeah. Well,
Typical GoDaddy.
congratulations for us. All right, I'm gonna have a drink now. Cheers, Diet Pepsi.
Cheers. I'll talk to you soon.
Be cool, brother. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
Took a shot of Diet Pepsi for that. I'm so excited. Dano, that camera's black. It won't come up, but that could be because I gotta refresh the page probably. See that sound? Dano, type again, please. You hear that sound? If I could get this to happen on YouTube, I'd be on YouTube all the time. Dano, type, or anyone type anything in my trading room. There you go. That's the noise. Now, I'll type here in... Well, Dano, now type, if you don't mind, in the YouTube chat room. No sound. See, that's where my problem lies with this YouTube chat room. I've got my eyes on markets and other stuff more so than just staring at the chat room. People are asking questions, and I don't even see it unless I'm just staring at this chat room. So, if you guys want to put a petition into YouTube, Google, and ask them to put in a sound in these chat rooms, I'll use it every day. Now, one thing we can do in this chat room that we can't do in the YouTube is this. Check this out. I'm going to show you the other view that we can have. So the view you're looking at is one of the views I always have in my chat room, right? But there's another view that you guys don't get to see. By the way, this fan has to go off my computer. Come on then. Got to put that on. Check this out. Just give me a minute to get to it because I've got to tell my machine that the chat room is back. to lower the volume on this TV because it's going to feed back. Give me a moment to log in. I'll show you something I'm going to do for our chat room. Which, if I could do this in the YouTube chat room, it would be very cool. All right, log in. Remember, what are we waiting for, buddy? Okay, whenever you're ready. Oh, laptop's not finding the chat room. Let me change browsers. Maybe it's the browser. Nope. Oh, boom! Laptop found the chat room. Alright, we're halfway there. Laptop found the chat room, but chat room not finding the camera. Choose camera, please. I don't know what it's doing, but it's certainly not finding my camera. Alright. So I'm going to reboot this machine, not the one we're on, but I'll reboot this machine because I wanted to show you something. When it comes back up, I'll show you what we usually do in this chat room. Wow, crude pushing towards the lows again at the end of the day, huh? It's not quite a whiteboard. I'll show you once my other computer lights up. Oh, that's you. I see what you're saying. My bad. That's you in here? Here, wait. Check this out. I'll make it a little bigger, and we can see who's in there. Alright, now, you can see some of the names till too many show up. But the room's been down for a day and a half, so we gotta wait for everyone to start piling back in. Now, everyone from YouTube, you're more than welcome to join the chat room. No credit cards are required. We don't ask anything like that. You'll just have to fill out a couple of pieces of information on, password, username. You'll get an email. That email will go to spam. It always does. Email goes to spam. I don't know why. Just go to your spam, unspam it, and you can come right to the chat room. And I'm always here, day, night, whenever. I'm not always going to be streaming live on YouTube. But I will try to do it a lot more. But if you guys want to be with me, just jump in the other chat room and I'm always there. Alright, so computer on the left is rebooting. When it's done, we'll pull that one into the chat room as well. And the easiest way to join is I had to give a DNA sample. You're going to be fun. Where you from, Whitebeard? You're going to be fun in my trading room, obviously. I love people with senses of humor. I like a sense of humor. It's a tough job we do here. Well, that's still rebooting, huh? Russians in the machine? You're from Bama, huh? Nothing wrong with that. Ah, restarting Chrome, huh? All right, Cardi, be cool. I will just be here doing my thing. I sit here like this every day of my life. You know that, right? This is just what we do, day and night. No one goes anywhere. We just do this. I don't even know what my kids look like. I haven't seen them in 10 years, even though they're in the next room. Wow, it's still rebooting, and it's not even updating. Ah, she's finally coming back. Hello, laptop. Come on back. Whenever you're ready. It's getting better. Laptop is ready. Wow, I got a lot of good programs on this machine. I forgot I had them. All right. Come on, sir. Show us what you got. While we're waiting, has anyone seen this? This is the coolest and most fun toy I've ever had. It is made for eliminating flies. It shoots table salt. Literally, you put table salt in there. It's called the bug salt. Oh, I love it to death, man. The best part about this is all the thinking that went into this building of this, and the team of experts that thought about how it should be handled and what you should do, because it says right here, do not shoot in face or eyes. I mean, come on, these people were thinking when they put this together, huh? What a warning. I love it. I kid you not. This is so much fun. I want to shoot my screen right now. And it's just table salt. It doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't hurt anything. You can shoot it. It doesn't knock the paint off your walls if there's a fly in the wall. It's great stuff. The bug assault. Whoever thought of this, genius. Genius. All right, come on, laptop. Can we get back to work here? Do not shoot in face or eyes. There's some real serious thought going on in that boardroom. Yeah, it's exactly right. It shoots now, and it's really accurate. You can be like this far away from a fly on the wall or on a glass window or anything. It's just so cool. It's so much fun. All right, we're still waiting for this guy. No, we'll download that another time. Thank you very much. All right, so 10 of us made it back to the trading room. That's good. And, it's a third or a quarter of us, but we're getting there. does Tony know? Gotta tell my program. One of my greatest friends. Side is up. Side is up. Now we'll wait. Yes. Let's keep trying. Eventually, we're gonna log into the chat room with this machine. I promise. Come on, buddy. It's getting better. Come on now. After all of that, still no camera? What is the deal here? Come on. USB video device. What's this thing? Well, I guess I'm a liar. I cannot show you what I had planned. It just will not find the camera. Huh. Yep, kids, I apologize. I cannot get this guy to light up. What if we try it on Chrome? See what Chrome will do for us. I'm trying to get on a different browser. I don't know what it's doing. I'm trying to light up a camera in my chat room, which normally lights up every day, but I'm not finding it for some reason. And I just rebooted that machine, so we'll see what a different browser can do. This little guy goes here. No browser. Take me to my chat room eventually, or what? I'm getting there. Very slowly. Acquiring some info. All right, Kevin, we'll see you soon. Getting closer. All right, log in. camera. That is just bizarre. Anyway, what I was going to show you was that in this chat room there's another camera, and it's an overhead shot of my entire office where I sit, which has audio as well, but it's not showing up at the moment. It's being very finicky. You know, got an idea. It's going to be finicky. It's probably because the browser's got too much crap on it. Let me run something. I'll bet you I'll get this to work for us. So I want to see people. Let's see this. Let's see if I can anti-spyware is bad. All right, I'm gonna set something on that machine, clean up those browsers. We'll end up bringing this chat room back in, and I'll show you what I wanted to show you. All right, so crude very close to the lows. So is Ethereum. Gold right in the middle of the range. Yep, S&P towards the upper end of its range, right? It's 90 points off the lows, 85 points off the lows. That's not bad. Dollar stayed stable. Another day at the park. Welcome. Join this instead. If you join that, it'll bring you to my website, which then will bring you here. So it's going to bring you here first, where you can then make some choices, log in, if you can log in. If not, you'll register. Two choices, right? Log in or register. From there, it's very simple. You'll end up here. You just got to get an email, let the email go to spam or your inbox, shoot the email back. It'll have your temporary code in there, and you can join us in this trading room. There's usually two cameras on. So right now there should be one on for YouTube and one on for this live chat room, but I'm just having we had some technical difficulties these last 2 days, which are cleaning up now. So that camera should be coming up soon. You can't show your own camera, Charlie. There's no broadcasting here. It's only one. Only I broadcast out. No one else can show camera here. That feature's turned off, and here's why. Because we don't want to see somebody at 4 in the morning. I don't want to see what you're going to look like. Me, I promise you this. I will be sitting there, ready for work, typing a flash update. It won't matter what time, day or night. I'm going to look normal. I can't trust all of you will. So, no cameras. It wouldn't light up anyway. It doesn't matter. All right, scan this computer. Do a quick scan so we can actually get to the bottom of this, please. Thank you very much. Quick scan. Yes, close all browsers, clean them up for me. Thank you. While that's cleaning up, we'll figure out something else. So what happens here is I'm here until, around 4 p.m. Eastern. I take about an hour break. I come back, I do analysis, and then I'm here again till about 4 p.m. Eastern the next day, 4 p.m. Eastern the next day. And then basically we do this every day from Sunday night until Friday night. So your camera's having trouble too, Dano? I think everybody needs to reboot and clear their cache and cookies, and we'll be fine. It's a new site, new server, new everything. If you clear your cache and cookies, you'll be fine. In fact, I probably should have done that on that machine. I didn't give that a thought until I just said it to you. If you do that now, your camera will come right back up. Because we rebuilt the site on a brand new, faster server, so everything that our browsers has in memory is wrong now. New high, 10-year notes. Good, 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 good. Keep that happening. We want bonds and notes to go up, up, up. This guy's doing good, cleaning up its browser. I'm probably going to have to do that in order to bring up a camera on this machine too, clear my cache and cookies. But I'll do it after the session ends. So anyway, I'm here until like 4. Then I take an hour break. Then I come back and I just stay till tomorrow. You know, I catnap here and there. I have a live trading room as you're looking at. My camera is usually on. If not, I'm still here. You know what I mean? I'm still observing, monitoring, typing back if necessary. So I'm always, always in this trading room. Yo, get back here. Yeah, I've only got 15 minutes left till 4 p.m. I usually take my break at the 4 p.m. close of stock market. All right, S&P 55.59. Come on back. That's what we need to see. What just happened there? $55.60, yeah, is what we want to see. This is great. Keep going, keep going, keep going. E-mini S&P. Another new high in the 10-year notes, right down here. S&P doing great, sitting here. Bonds had a nice little rally off of its lows of 116.02, got up to 117. Well, got up to 116.31 actually, 117 even. And I have to assume that this is still working, right? The YouTube's still working, live streaming. Today was slightly experimental because I didn't know I would be streaming today. Oh, it's the chat room. I was wondering what disappeared. I couldn't find. It's the chat room. Where did it go? Chat room has disappeared. Oh, there it is. We got it back. So right now, this is the situation. I've got you cats in my YouTube chat room, and I've got my Omniacs who know that the site's back up in my regular chat room. This is kind of cool. I like it. browser will work for us now. Continue. Continue. Cleaned up. Continue. Thank you very much. Let's get those browsers back and see what happens. On Oscar, let's go. Log in, please. $55.69. Go S&P. $55.70. Quiet down, you. Simmer down, you. Talking on my phone. And bam, still no camera. You either, Dano? Still no camera. I don't know what that means. That's something different. New high NASDAQ. Yes. Yes. That's perfect, kids. It's just what we needed. Shows that the markets are strong and resilient. And this camera will not work. This is very interesting. So, how does one clear cache and cookies on this browser? Delete browsing history. Yeah, clear now. Everything. Not in the last hour, forever. Well, let's do that again. Let's do it again. Do it in all time. Just clean this bad boy up. Yeah, I'm working on that right now. Look at S&P, NASDAQ, Russ. Come on, everyone. YM. Analysis is great, isn't it? All right, so the stops suck, but analysis is great. Just a moment. Live Oscar. Virtual assistant. New high again S&P, new high again NASDAQ, new high YM. God, I love analysis. So it proved that the markets, as I said in the video last night, are looking to go up. My bet on the stop choice today in the entry, but it still would have worked. Alright, so we did clear. Internet Explorer, everything's clear now. Delete. Now we're going to try this again. Let's open up a brand new window. Alright, cleared cache and cookies. We'll see if that helps. It means I gotta type everything now. Alright, almost there. Oh, much faster browser now. Very good. I have a feeling this is gonna work, and look at these markets exploding. Look at these markets go, kids. Round of applause to the markets. This is Just what we needed to see. Send them bad boys higher. Chat room. How are we doing now? Will a camera show up? Drum roll, please. Becoming a problem now. Cameras are not working. I think I know what it is, Dano. Yarrick needs some information. Dano, Yarrick is going to need information from us. You should let him know that we changed servers. We have a brand new server. And the cameras are down. What information does he need to point the cameras for us? I think that's what's going on right now. He's got to point the camera server at the proper server. It's now pointed at the old server. Just my theory, but I think that's what's going on here. Five more minutes. Well, thank you for bearing with me while I'm trying to reset all my systems and we're back up and running. S&P about to make another new high, and NASDAQ just did. Very nice. So what were our profit objectives had we stayed in? I'm glad you showed up. I would love for you to join our other stream every day, which is here. And I will try to stream as much as I can on YouTube. So, how high were we supposed to go? 56.16 to 56.18 S&P today. This is what I had written down.
I come and have a bite to eat.
Okay, I'll be done soon. 16 to 18 today should have been S&P. We're on our way right now. 19,745, 19,750 NASDAQ should get to today. See that? If I'm holding it correctly. I think you're going to see that too. Wow, these OMNI numbers were great. The stops. Head down, nose to the grindstone. On to the next trade. We'll catch it right tonight. The real limit up. Well, thank you guys, thank you traders for joining my live trading room. You will see me there constantly. Dano, if you could get in touch with him like immediately and tell him we need this kind of done right now, it would really help. We have a lot of new people coming to the trading room and the cameras won't light up until our engineer, oh beautiful. We have an engineer in France, we have one in California, and we have one in New York, not New York City, but in New York in the Hamptons. So the one in France has to handle this issue. Well, please join me every day. It's just what I do. Do we know our new give me a moment. Let me see what I can do about that. Oh, it's time in New York. He's not home from work yet. All right. Yes, I could probably get it. Hold on. sure he'll write right back to me, even though he's on a plane a million miles above. Live with Oscar. Wow, that was loud. It blew my ear up. Oh, you should be able to upload stuff here. Dano, if you want to help him with that. I can't steal the camera to put it in here. We need the IP address in order to get the cameras up in here. I can't call him. I can only type
All
to him.
good.
Hey, you're good. Who did that?
We're all good.
All right, turn your camera off for a
That's
moment.
me.
Turn that off for a moment, if you can. Oh, no, I can do it from here. Don't worry about it. I got it. That's good, Dano. Thank you for that. And let's see if it happens over here. Corrected. Woo! All right. So our cameras are now fixed as well. Thank you, Yarrick in France. Appreciate you, brother. So this would be the view that you would get, as well as the view that you're getting now on YouTube. They're both in this chat room during most of my time. If I'm not live streaming, you'd find me in this chat room instead. So what did we just say? 56.16 S&P, right? And 19.750 NASDAQ. Isn't that what we just looked at? I think we just hit the NASDAQ number. Today, yeah, look at this. 19.745, 19.750 in NASDAQ today. And that just hit. 42 did anyway. 19.742. All right, so I might as well give you the bigger numbers. This is what my charts told me was going to happen very soon. Next few days, here's where we go. NASDAQ. Boom. 20,125 to 20,145 very soon. And I got one more. I wrote that on 2 markets last night. Very soon. I wrote that in 2 spots that I can remember. Must be ES. Very soon, ES. Here. Very soon. That's what we expect. Hey, sweets.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. How was the game?
Oh, the game was great. They won in overtime. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really exciting, crowd, as they usually are there.
Yeah.
Seats went real high. I was able to handle that.
Okay, that's good.
I mean,
Sounds
we were
scary.
like rafters, but there are no bad seats in that stadium. I mean, you're close to the ice no matter where you are. It's great.
That's awesome.
So I have about, I guess I'm kind of done for now. I got to take a break and then I'll come back.
Okay.
So let me just tell them.
Mm-hmm.
You got no jacket on, buddy. You can't be on my film. I'll be out in a minute, baby.
I think.
right, so I will be in my room, this room that you see right here, all night, like I do every night. You should be able to, yes. And usually there are 2 camera views, and you'll see them both this afternoon. Once I take down my streaming, then, well, I'm always live streaming. If you're looking at the stream now, I'm always in here live streaming. I'm always there. So it's exactly what happened today. Happened basically 24 hours a day in this room. So if you want to join me, just join me there. And I will try to live stream YouTube as often as possible. Obviously, it gets more eyes on what we do, and I get to help more people that way. And if I can help more people, I will. All right, so I'm going to end this. Wow, look at this, making new highs. ES, NASDAQ, insanity. So ES is about to go to that 56.16 mark. That's what OMNI gave us last night for trading today. And it gave us 19,750 in NASDAQ for trading today. The high in NASDAQ right now is 19,753. That is amazing, amazing analysis. Chat room's back. So let's see if Omni nails it down again tonight for us. Look at that, 56.11. Just about ready to get to that 16 mark. Whatever you do, don't bail out of stocks, and don't listen to the other people out there. Follow the videos I put out. The analysis is better than anyone else's crap that they make up. As I mentioned in last night's video to you. People write crazy stuff. They know the market's going somewhere. Instead of, I've done a piece of analysis that makes me think the market's going to go somewhere. That I can accept. When they tell me they know it's going somewhere, I think they're crazy. There it is, 56.16. Just what we called for today. On that high note, I'm going to take my lunch break. I'll see you cats literally in about 55 minutes in this live trading room is where you'll find me for the rest of the night. Thank you all for tuning in.